What's up, welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Conclave, the new mystery thriller film from German director Edward Berger in his follow-up to All Quiet on the Western Front a few years ago. This film debuted at Telluride earlier this year and is now out in wide release from Focus Features, of course starring Ralph Fiennes, Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow, and Isabella Rossellini. Conclave has been hotly tapped as a Oscar contender, a movie perhaps in the mix for certainly a Best Picture nomination, if not also acting nominations and other awards. Adapted from the 2016 Robert Harris novel of the same name, Conclave tells the story of a fictional papal conclave following the passing of a pope in the election of a new one and all the political machinations and cat and mouse that follows. Conclave is incredibly entertaining. This thriller film is very well done, excellent production design, finely crafted mystery. It's just a blast to watch and spend time with. In general, the concept of a papal conclave and the mystery and politicking behind the scenes is very fascinating and very cinematic as a result. The film is plotted very well, does an excellent job of expounding on its ensemble characters as you get to know more about them. That being said, I don't think Conclave is an upper echelon of films this year. I think it's just a peg below because despite its vast entertainment that it provides, it has a bit too neat of an ending for my liking, despite a really effective 11th hour twist. I would have liked just a little bit more to the conclusion of this film, and I'd be very curious what it's like to revisit Conclave once you know the twist, once you know the beats of the plot. Ralph Fiennes plays Cardinal Lawrence, who is tasked with, overseeing and managing the conclave, and he's our lead POV. His ally in the liberal wing of the Vatican is Stanley Tucci, and then they're at odds with a more traditional conservative figure, Cardinal played by John Lithgow, and also a really arch-conservative Italian traditionalist, Cardinal Tedesco, played by Italian actor Sergio Castellitto. And then Isabella Rossellini plays the head of the Vatican nuns, Sister Agnes. All these performances are good, and the characters are, I think, well colored in for what they represent in the story. But I don't think any of these are necessarily best actor, best supporting actor, worthy performances. They're good performances. Could they be nominated? Sure, but none of these necessarily knock me off my feet or anything like that. I think that's kind of what I took away from Conclave, a movie that I really enjoyed, but I just don't think there's quite enough substance to it to hold it up to the degree that we're going to hold up some other movies this year. And I don't think that's a bad thing by any means. I'm pretty much a sucker for anything in this general sphere. I'm a big fan of the Dan Brown movies, despite their flaws, Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons. Obviously those movies are a lot flashier and certainly a lot more extravagant and suspend disbelief. And Conclave definitely has some ridiculous moments to it, but it's also just, again, a pretty rollicking good time. I think the script is, again, quite tight. I did think the final twist, which I won't spoil, I did think the final twist was pretty thought-provoking and interesting. I almost would have loved it if it happened a little bit sooner, just so we could have spent a bit more time with it, but it's done pretty well. That being said, before that, the lead up to when we get the final vote and we figure out who gets elected as the new pope, it's really predictable. You know exactly where the beat's going to go because you kind of have these dueling speeches before it. You have the good side and the bad side. It's a bit overt, and I think the movie to that point had a lot more nuance than it does at the end. But again, it's a good time. It's fun to be with. So I can't really knock it too much. There's a moment where Cardinal Lawrence, Ralph Fiennes' character, finds a secret stash of documents in the late Pope's quarters. I would have loved more of that stuff. Again, let's get a little Dan Brownie. That would have been fun. It's just unrealistic but enjoyable nonetheless. So yeah, shout out Conclave. Right now it's in my top 10 movies of the year. Will it stay there? I'm not necessarily sure. I like the movie for what it is. I think it's a really good thriller in a world where we don't get quite as many of these crowd-pleasing thrillers anymore. So it's a movie that I wish would be more successful at the box office, and it looks like it's going to end up being, opening to under 10 million this past weekend. So we'll see how it legs out. We'll see how the awards season treats this film. But yeah, I enjoyed Conclave. I would recommend it. Let me know what you think about the movie. What did you like most about it? And for more movie reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.